My name is Manny Santos, former Marine Staff Sergeant, retired 1976. And this story is about part of my life. I was born and raised in Massachusetts. I went into the Marine Corps straight out of my week off from school. I enlisted at the age of 18, and my brother was already in the Corps for 4 years, and he kept telling me not to go in the Corps, so that's why I went into the Marine Corps. We flew in down there, North Carolina, then took a bus to South Carolina at Parris Island. And just like in the movies, you hear a bunch of noise, all of a sudden you get the DIs charging you guys, get off the bus, get off the bus. And we ended up standing at attention in formation for a couple hours, waiting for them to do what they had to do. Boot camp was tough. I was a little bit overweight, but boy, I was lean and mean when I got out. Marine Corps is really tough on you as far as what you're doing and where you're doing and how you're doing it. It's all up to them. And one little thing happened to me while I was there that really got me going after was I was at a class, had my head down, and the drill instructor told me, Private Santos, get your head up. And the Private Santos said, I can hear you just as well looking down as I can looking up. Whoa, that was a mistake, big mistake. They had me out there the next morning, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, running all day long with a full pack. So needless to say, they broke me down, and then they build you up at the end of boot camp. Vietnam, they flew out of Travis Air Force Base in a civilian airplane, and we flew into Nam, and as we got over the Vietnam, we came straight down as a big jet could fly, hit the ground, and went all the way to the nearest bunker so we could get out of the plane because of sniper fire all the time on that area. So getting off the plane, it was June, and very hot, very humid, like an oven, very scared. We had no weapons at the time yet. I was a crypto analyst and a ditty chaser. What they do is you have a typewriter in front of you, and the enemy sends out Morse code, and we copy it on a typewriter, and we get it to our linguist, and they can tell us, and we tell our grunts where the enemy is and what they're doing. So that's what we're security. Every once in a while, we would go out on patrol, do what we call directional finding. We'd have about 3 patrols out, listen to the enemy, figure out the frequency, and then at headquarters we'd get all 3 frequencies, and we could get a square to where the enemy is. I find we locate, the grunts eliminate. First day that I took incoming, at our campsite we had howitzers, 155 howitzers, 175, about 100 yards on the other side of the campsite. Every time they would shoot out, and couldn't tell if it was incoming or outgoing. I duck all the time. And the guys that had been there a while said, you'll know the difference. Well, it came one day when I was off duty, out with just my sandals and shorts on, 50 yards from the bunker, and I heard a pop, and it sounded like a freight train coming in, and I hit the ground, and it hit the ground. And then I got up running, and those 50 yards, I probably would have beat anybody in the field, left my sandals behind, went in there barefooted. From that point on, I knew what incoming would sound like. This is a piece of shrapnel. Comes off the head of a rocket from the enemy. It hit outside of my tent and just shattered everywhere. I caught a little bit on my shoulder and not much else. And our bunker's in a different area, so we ran out of our tents and into the bunker to protect ourselves from this piece and many, many, many more of them that come off. Well, when we're off duty, which is normally 12 on, 12 off, we'll play cards like pinochle, maybe poker, cribbage, and read books. That's about it. At pinochle, they thought I was cheating because I was winning all the time. I went into one of the tents one day, and there was a half dozen guys in there eating some peppers of some type. I thought it was bell pepper or whatever. And they're called habaneros. And they were just eating them like candy, but I didn't notice they were all Mexican guys. And this white guy comes in there and said, yeah, let me try one. They laughed their butts off. I burnt so bad, I had get water, and that only made it worse. What I needed was something else, like milk. That, I remember that as something funny. We returned back to Travis Air Force Base. The plane left like the plane came in, zoomed up and out away from Vietnam, and finally we landed in Travis Air Force Base, which was outside of Fairfield, California. And we got out to this old broken down sign that said, "Welcome home." There was no band, there was no people. There was just the people running this place. No welcoming in. But we didn't care at the time because we were just happy to be home. But we learned a lesson. The troops that we have over in Iraq and Afghanistan and any of those troops, we support them. We do everything we can and we make sure they get a good homecoming from everyone. Well, I'll tell you what, it makes you appreciate what you have back home. That was the main thing. You had nothing out there. You saw people that lived in cardboard houses. You saw people that lived in hooches. You saw people that were starving, people that were dying. So you just wanted to come back to the United States and just appreciate everything you have and everything you own. Well, the best thing you can pass on is support your troops. That's the absolute best thing, no matter what the government is doing, no matter if we think the war is wrong or right, support your troops. Well, the only thing the ending of what I like to say is, you know a Marine. He's always faithful, he's always there. He'll never forget being a Marine, so once a Marine, always a Marine. There's no such thing as an ex-Marine. And support your troops again.